The Indiana Fever got the doors blown off them Sunday afternoon. We got to talk about it.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, the Indiana Fever got blown out yesterday, 93-69, in a game where it was kind of close in the first couple of quarters. They battled back, 3 in the first, 5 in the second, and 6 in the third, and then finally they couldn't do anything anymore. But that pretty much not the story of the game. The main story of the game was Dijonai Carrington intentionally, purposely tried to injure Caitlin Clark. Now, there's been a lot of angles, a lot of footage, which this morning I went back and looked at some more. She purposely went up for the ball, missed it, and then brought her hand down and poked her in the eye. And this is why people are so critical with the WNBA, because these are catty-ass women that is jealous of Caitlin Clark and purposely, yeah, it's playoff basketball. I get it. And I was listening to, a YouTuber, I'm not going to call his name out, but he said that, he didn't have no issue with what she did, Carrington did. If you go back and look at the video, yeah, you got to do everything you can to win the game, but intentionally to hurt someone, like, you could have easily damaged her eyes, her cornea, her eyes. She could not play the rest of the series, but all because you trying to play dirty. And this is why these women can't get it as far as in the WNBA as it is now, because they do malicious, stupid stuff. I mean, in the NBA, guys do stuff, but they play the game. They ain't purposely poking somebody in the eye. They ain't trying to take their knees out from one of them. You know what I'm saying? Melissa Thomas, she tried to play she tried to be like the LeBron James, play bully ball, throwing her. Literally, she forearm. I don't know who it was yesterday. I can't remember, but I've seen it. She drove to the basket and pushed off all the time. She doesn't know how to drive to the basket to create her own shot. She tried to use her forearm, and this is why the league needs to do. Kathy Engelberg needs to do better with these referees. These referees sits there and allow this stuff to happen. And don't do anything because they feel they have to get backlash from these women in the league. F that, because if I was a referee in this league, trust me, I don't care what your name is, you getting a call. But good thing Caitlin Clark did what I suspected her to do: slap the Dijonai Carrington contacts out of the eye. She should have slapped them eyelashes off her eye. And first of all, why are women playing with fingernails in the league anyway? That's not basketball. Use your hands. You shouldn't even have. Let me rephrase this before somebody, take it the wrong way. If you playing basketball, yeah, you could come to the game looking nice or whatever, but your fingernails, you shouldn't even have them fingernails on like that. That's not basketball. This is why half of they can't make layups, they can't make shots. They want to look glamorous coming to the game like it's a fashion show. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just come to the basketball with use your hands. Play, don't use no nails on your hand or whatever the case might be. That's my take on it. I just, me personally, I think it's trash. To me, um, it's classless. But then again, like I said, Caitlyn could have got, she has a black eye under her eyelid. She could have had her eye damaged. Now, Caitlyn did say that it didn't bother her vision. She had, pretty much, but this is what you're going to have to deal with when you play the Connecticut Sun. Because being honest, Connecticut Sun doesn't even play that physical with other teams. It's always against the Fever. They always have something against the Fever. Even Melissa Thomas, she tried to get bad with Aaliyah Boston. See, they use this to bully them because they know the Indiana Fever ain't going to fight. They're not going to. They don't have no dogs on this team. Now, I think Kelsey Mitchell will get it. She got into with Natasha Cloud. But all in all, man, like Timmy, it's so much to take away from this game. But before I do that, I'm going to just play this clip real quick.
With no whistle. Now, there's nothing Indiana.
Now, the referee was right there on that corner, and he seen it, and he turned away. This is where, as Chrissy Sides as a coach, she got to go to Lynn Dunn and say, hey, you need to call up to the league and say, hey, this is not basketball. You literally could see this was intentional. And go down and allow the league to say, hey, look, y'all need to call down to the GM, call to the coach, say, look, you need to tell y'all team needs to get it together. All of these tactics that y'all doing is going to cause fines or suspension or whatever the case may be. This is how you start protecting your player. Yeah, Chrissy Sides got a technical foul in the game, but that was it. There was other things in the game that she could have challenged. She didn't even challenge. You know what I'm saying? She should have been outraged that Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even show no. It's like, protect your star player. That's your star player on your team. Protect her. Then everybody running up the court. Nobody coming back to check on her. Katie Lou ran down there to check on her sister in the Mystics game. Nobody came down there to check on Caitlin to see, is you all right? They played. Same thing they did with Mitchell. When she tweaked her ankle. Everybody just played. Chrissy Sides didn't even call a timeout. These are the stupid stuff. If this was any other coach, they would have. Much as I don't like Becky Hammond or Cheryl Reeves, they ride for their players. Good or bad, they ride for their players. They would have been jumping up and down on that sideline, screaming about what's going on right there with their player. If that was Nafisha Carlo got poked in the eye, you best believe Cheryl Reeves would have been jumping out. If that was Aja Wilson or Jackie Young or Chelsea Gray, they would have been jumping up and down. Heck, Diana Taurasi would have got a tech because she got poked in the eye. She would have been screaming. But the thing about it is, I'm going to show you this tech that she got early in the game.
I have no problem with that technical foul at all. And plus, you don't want your players to be the ones.
If she has showed this much passion throughout the season, you know what I'm saying? The team probably would take her a little bit more serious. The Indiana Fever guy, literally, Caitlin played a worse playoff. This could be the worst playoff game that she has ever experienced. Her first. Kelsey Mitchell didn't play well. Yeah, she got her points. But this team did not play well at all. This team played really, really bad. And I don't know what their confidence level going into Wednesday's game. Alyssa Smith only had 2 points, 9 rebounds. 9 minutes. Leo Boston, 17 points. She had a double-double. It didn't really matter at all because she was 8 from 14 for the field. But I figured Leo Boston could have had 20 or 25 points because there is nobody on Connecticut besides Breonna Jones that could deal with a Leo Boston. Leo Boston is quicker than Breonna Jones. They need to get – I've seen actions that when Dantas was on the floor, Leo Boston had the mismatch, and she could roll to the basket easily. Alyssa Thomas can't deal with her because she's going to play aggressive and foul her. Me, personally, I will put Dantas to start. But the thing about it is, Chrissy Sowers is going to continue to put Alyssa Smith in the game, and then she's going to bench her. You know what I'm saying? She's going to bench her. When Dantas came in the game, she had 11 points in the time she came in within 3 minutes of the game, 2 or 3 minutes of the game. She had 2 3-pointers back to back, and she went to the foul line. She had 8 points at that time. Dantas actually could have had close to, I say 16, 18, 20 points. When she's on the floor, she played 24 minutes. When she was on the floor, she spreads the floor out. She helps. To be honest, if you use Dantas in a pick and roll with Caitlin Clark and use Leo Boston in high-low situation, because Dantas is a good passer. She could pass that low. Boston could get her shots. Now, the thing about it is, if Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell ain't hitting their shots and they struggling in the first half, the game was close with them struggling, and they still, every time they come, there was always something. The shot clock, the time clock, late whistle. It's like every time the Fever made a run, there was something wrong with the clock. There was something wrong with the scoreboard. There was something going on that stops their momentum and allow Connecticut to get on the roll. Katie Lou came in for 5 minutes. Don't know why. Fan Bentley had 13 minutes. Don't know why. Katie Lou was a minus 10. Dantas was a minus 18, but she still was effective. Bentley was minus 10, but didn't do anything. Everybody was minus. Caitlin Clark had 2 turnovers. Her lowest turnover output in the whole year. She was a minus 20. She had 8 assists, 3 steals, 4 rebounds, 11 points. You would say, well, hey, that's decent. But they needed her scoring. They didn't have no – after Tiffany Harris went down, they did not have no answer for Marina Mabrey at all. Marina Mabrey came in and lit their tail up with 27 points off the bench, the most points for a bench starter in a playoff game. She was 9 for 20 from the field, 5 for 12 from 3. They was giving her the ball and let her cook. She got past Caitlin a couple of times. Now, with Tiffany Harris out, that changes the next game because Mabrey most likely will start. Now, with that being said, let me look at something real quick because I need to look at their starters for the next game. So you had Tiffany Harris starting, and you got Alyssa Thomas, Dewana Bonner. Dewana Bonner literally got them on the roll. She had 20-something points. She could not miss from three. Nobody was on her. Then you got Alyssa Thomas having the game that she had. You know what I'm saying? She had 10 rebounds, 13 assists, 12 points. And this is where I have an issue with Timothy Bentley. Love her, sweet young lady. She allowed Alyssa Thomas to take them middies. Instead of put pressure on her, get up in her. You from here to where my TV is, and you throwing your hand up. She's gonna make that shot. There was no way in hell that Alyssa Thomas should have had 12 points. Then you giving her 13 assists. You allowing her to get rebounds, 10 rebounds. Nobody's rebounding. Nobody's boxing out. So with Tiffany Harris out, with Tiffany Harris out of the game. Well, not Tiffany Harris, Tanisha Harris. I'm telling her name. Tanisha Harris out the game. That means Marina Mabry will start. That means right then and there, the Indiana Fever has a matchup. Because guess what? If you put Melissa Smith in, Melissa Smith could play her. Or you could put her on Dewana Bonner and allow Lexi Hall to play her. Then you have Carrington. Because the Connecticut Sun was smart because they put Dewana Bonner on Caitlin Clark and had the Dijonai Carrington on Kelsey Mitchell. That literally right there changed how the Caitlin and Mitchell scored. You had a lengthy person, 6'4", Dewana Bonner, and you had a little bit quicker person that could stay with Kelsey Mitchell. Now, like I said, with Marina Mabry starting, Marina Mabry she's not fast like Harris. So that means now you could get a different matchup going into game two. Because who are you going to have Marina guarding as she starts in game two? You going to have her on Mitchell where Mitchell could blow by her? You going to have her on Clark where Clark could get her in foul trouble early? You know what I'm saying? Because to me personally, Dewana Bonner, she's kind of quick. She's older, but she's kind of quick. She used her slashing move. So how would you if you put Timmy in the game, you could put Timmy on her. Or you could put, I'm thinking, let me think. You could put Timmy on her. You could put, I will put Clark on AT because AT, she's not that fast. She could stay with, you could put her on Clark or Clark on her. You could put Lexi Hall on Marina Mabry. And you could put, then you probably had Carrington and Mitchell matched up, but you could easily get around that with screens. But if you put Dantes in, that's a little bit different because then you don't have to have Dewana Bonner on Caitlin Clark. Then you could get a mismatch because then Carrington would have to shift to Clark. Then Mabry will probably have to shift to Mitchell, and Mitchell could use her speed to get past her and get her in foul trouble. So there's a lot of different things that the Fever could do in the second game to exploit matchups easily, but they got to do it. But then again, like I said, this game was pretty much bad all the way around. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to what they had to say in press conference about the situation and what needs to change going into game two.
Caitlin, could you tell us a little bit about your eye, the hit, if it affected you, how it affected you, and through the rest of the game? Thanks.
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. Like I got some really good looks. I felt I had pretty wide open threes in the first half that like you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best. Took care of the ball better than I usually do, which is a positive. But overall, like coach said in the locker room, like we were down 3 the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. Like we were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game. Like the flow of the game was really bad. I don't know if that was the refereeing. It was probably partly us because we struggle to get stops at times, but also like the clock getting messed up, which is one thing after the next. But yeah, overall, like it didn't bother me. Obviously, it didn't feel too good when it happened, but it is what it is.
Christy and Caitlin, this was a different look in terms of putting Duana on Caitlin and Dijonai on Kelsey. Did that do anything to affect how you guys, played throughout the game? Did that have any impact on the play today?
I think, they were going to make adjustments. They were going to change up their schemes. They were going to change the matchups. We had talked about getting back the matchups that we wanted, that we thought would be helpful for us. I agree with what Caitlin just said. Like we scored 69 points, and when we go back and watch this, I didn't really say much because I want to go back and watch and just kind of see. But I think we just, these guys are going to shoot the ball a lot better on Wednesday, and that's going to make a huge difference. And the first 3 quarters we battled. I think we got rattled in the third a little bit when they started they hit some shots, but then we kept making shots, and then we really, that fourth quarter we stopped scoring, and then they had some late buckets, after the game was out of reach, but. Some things that, some highlights, they had 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. And I think we gave up 2 the rest of the game. We just got to find those positives. We had 23 assists on 27 baskets. And I'm pretty sure, like Caitlin said, when we go back and look, there was some wide open shots that would have given us even more assists right there. So, whatever matchup they come with, I still think we had some good looks. We just have to do a better job of they had 50 points in the paint.
Caitlin, what positives do you take away from this first game? And I think in the third quarter timeout, you went to the bench, slammed the chair, and then hit a couple of shots right after that. I mean, I don't know if it cleared your head or got you going, or just frustration and things happen afterwards.
Yeah, well, I felt like my shot felt right there. That's why like it's so frustrating as a shooter, like when it feels so good, but it won't go down for you. That's what sucks about it. But like I said, I'm proud of our team. Like, we battled, we fought. It wasn't pretty, but we were right there. I think we cut it to 8 there with a few minutes to go in the third, but then I think they came back down and maybe hit a 3 on us. So I think it went into they're up maybe by 11 going into the fourth. So, and could never really claw back into it really to give ourselves a chance.
Kelsey and Coach, if you want to add in on this too, what did you think was the difference in the fourth quarter, especially with Marina Mabry kind of going off, and how can you guys maybe defend her a little bit better in the next game?
I think that we should err on the side of aggressiveness, with or without adjustment. I think that we should our 12 should be aggressive to start the game. To make great players gonna make tough shots, but I think that we could be better in those areas of just mucking it up and making it a little bit more uglier when they do take tough shots. And I think that that's our big step to make them take tough shots all game. I think we could have done better in that area.
Yeah, I've agreed. I just think we have to close their space down a lot more. I mean, we can't even let her, got to close it down and then get hands up and contest. I'm pretty sure when I go back and watch, I don't think one of our goals is contest every shot. And I think we had some closeouts where our hands were down. And that, in the playoffs, good players are going to make plays. And that, that's what Marina did tonight.
Caitlin, you had talked yesterday about how you felt like every time the team played here, you just didn't play well, and then you called it a crappy game today. Mm-hmm. Is there something about this building or being here that impacts that?
No. Like I said, like we were down 8 or something, maybe 11 going into the fourth. Like we had our chances. Like I felt like I said, we didn't play well. Like we didn't play to the level that we're capable of playing. And we didn't shoot the ball like we're capable of. But even that to the side, like we're capable of winning this game without making shots. Our defense could have been a little bit better. Obviously Marina gets hot and she's a really good player, but I had a few lapses on the defensive end where, like, as a shooter, once you see 2 in a row go in, like, the basket looks huge, so you can't allow that. But like I said, I mean, we can win. It's not anything about the building. It's not about the gym. It's not about the hoops. Like, I have all the confidence in the world in this team, and everybody in our locker room does. And I know we'll be a lot better on Wednesday.
Coach, you got pretty animated and got a technical foul early in the game, and Caitlin mentioned in her first answer about the refs. So is that something you could talk about?
Yeah, I just feel like there's some body contact. There's some sometimes these guys are coming off screens and movements where they're just getting bodied a lot. I thought that was happening early. I thought AB was getting not getting some calls down low that she probably should have. But at the end of the day, like it's not about the officiating tonight for sure. I mean, we've got to be better defensively. I mean, and then to the question before that was asked, it's not the building the hoops. Like, the Connecticut Sun is a really, really good team. They're a really good team with a lot of experience. And they know what it takes to step up to that next level, that playoff level. And that's what we're going to be. And that's who we are going to become. And so that is, they made it really difficult, and we've got to close that gap.
Go Matt in the second row, then Scott on the far right on the wall.
All right. I'm not going to even play no more, but this is my point. She said it ain't nothing about the referees. Hell, get a fine. Criticize the referees in your press conference. Stop holding back. Say, look, the referees could have made some better judgment calls. They didn't make calls. Hell, take the fine. This is where Chrissy Sides need to be like, if you're going to take a take the fine. Say, yeah, the referees missed some calls. There were some calls, like the poke in Caitlin Clark's eye. They should have called a foul on it. She sits there and don't say anything and continuously to be passive. So, well, the Connecticut Sun is a really good team, but they play dirty and physical. So you got to match that intensity. Just like Kelsey Mitchell just said. She said, hey, we gotta play more aggressive. We can't play passive. Caitlin said in her press conference, she had some lapses. Yeah, you had lapses on defense because you was on Marina Mabry, somebody that you had played good defense on when she was in Chicago and the last couple of games. So therefore, in the last game, Marina Mabry had 21 points off the bench. So you have to find somebody on there. This is my thing, and I'm gonna say this before I get off. Victoria Saxon needs to get some minutes in this series because she's very fast and athletic. To me, I think you could put her in for about 2 or 3 minutes to put defense on DeWanna Bonner. If Timmy is not going to play defense on DeWanna Bonner, pull Vivian Saxon in it. And you know why? Because Vivian Saxon, if you pull her out on the three-point line, she could hit threes. We need more shots from the outside besides Dantas, Mitchell, and Clark. We need to get some action rolling for Lexi Hall and stop using her just for defensive purposes and allow her to make shots like she was making in the early part of the second half of the season when they came back from the break. She has the highest three-point rating, and she's not even getting those shots right now. You need scoring from others, not just from Clark, not just from Mitchell, not from Boston, and not from Dantas. But Dantas and Lexi Hall had a hell of a game. Lexi hustled her tail off. But at the same time, at the end of the day, we need more from Nalissa Agent Smith. But we're not going to get it from her. So guess what? Katie Lou is too slow. Vivian Saxon came in at cleanup time, drove to the basket, got 2 points. In the Washington game, she had 7 points, 8 points? She had she had 5, a 3, and a 2. Allow her to get some minutes. You got to see you gotta utilize whatever you could do to play. Hell, if that's the case, why did you take Erica Wheeler off of Marina Mabry when she did a decent job on her? She's faster than Marina Mabry. She could get around. She could stay with her. I would say put Wallace in, but Wallace runs around the damn floor too much for me. She doesn't stay in one place. She just runs around. She don't play. She act like she's playing rugby or some shit out there in Australia. But the thing about it is, we cannot allow Marina Mabry to get off, because this is the thing. Marina Mabry will start the next game because Tanisha Harris is not going to play. That means they're not going to get that 27 points from the bench this game, the second game. So that's going to make the game a little bit more tighter. So now if you put Marina Mabry in foul trouble as a starter, if she gets 2 fouls, that eliminates her aggressiveness of how you're going to play her or how she's going to play in the game. But then now you could use Clark to take advantage of it. Now you could use a Kelsey Mitchell to take advantage of her. And plus, Leah Boston, if she could get the Brianna Jones in foul trouble, guess what that happens? That's another big off the floor. Then you put pressure on Alyssa Thomas, who's going to try to do everything. Then you're going to put pressure on Dijonai Carrington. Me personally, I would try to get Dijonai Carrington in foul trouble and get her off the floor. She plays free and loose around the floor. She doesn't really play as much defense. She's a help defender. We got to take advantage of that. But this is the inexperience of a coach like Kirstie Sides that we have seen a lot of inexperienced stuff. Yeah, she's a second-year coach. I get it. But still, you got to make adjustments. You got to come in game 2 and say, look, most likely Marina Mabry is going to start. She's that 27 points that she got off the bench, she's not going to get that as a starter. Now you make the game tighter. Now this is where the Fever got to go into the game to be the aggressor. You can't allow them to be the aggressor, because the fact of the matter is that you know that Tanisha Harris is not going to play no more in this series. That's a benefit for the Fever to take advantage of, because Marina Mabry will be a starter and you can take advantage of her starter, because now she has to focus more on defense. She doesn't come off the bench and play freely because she don't have to worry about guarding too much people. She just comes out there and shoot. Now, guess what's going to happen? You got to make her play defense this time. And her scoring is going to take a hit. We seen that in Chicago when she had to play a lot of defense. She doesn't. Her scoring suffers. See, now where are you going to get the scoring off the bench? You're not going to get it. You're not going to get 27 points off the bench. I can tell you that from anybody. If you look at if you look at let me go back. If you look at they bench, if you look at the bench scoring for them, they only had 8 by Burton, 6 by O'Nelson. So if you think about that, they're not gonna give you that the next game. Marina Mabry is not gonna give you 27 points. So you take that 27 points that Marina Mabry gave you and subtract that 91, Fever wins the game. 93 points. That's 66 points. Guess what? Fever win by 3 or 4 or 5. So the Fever got to look at this game and say, hey, all right, Marina Mabry is not going to score 27 points. She's going to most likely be the starter in the game. And guess what you got to do after that? The others on the bench is not going to give you 6 and 8 points. The game is going to be really going to be tighter. And this is where Caitlin and Kelsey has to make their opponents pay. They're quicker. They're better shot makers. DeWanna Bonner is not going to give you 20 points this game. So they got to go back and look at film and make adjustments. If not, they'll be going home on Wednesday. So, again, like, comment, subscribe. Keep them bells ringing anytime I drop a hardcore video. And you always know what I say about at the end of my video. You know what it is. It's your boy, Live Wire Sports Media. And I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.